Hello and welcome to another podcast with me, Mike Clark Fit, and Em the coach.
Whoa.
Did that sound good?
Yeah, that actually sounded quite good.
Well, there you go. Anyway.
I reckon people will be like, oh,
whoa, what's going on?
What's going on? Why is Mike introducing it?
It's a change. We're having a change up. You know, we weren't quite getting the numbers, so we've had to switch things up.
Oh,
so I'm having to start the show.
I bring in the numbers, mate.
Yeah.
Hello.
How you doing, Gil?
I'm all right, boy.
Another week, another podcast.
Another week, another podcast. How was your little trip?
It was all right. I feel a bit ill now. So
Yeah,
I brought
can you
anything
not
back.
do that into the microphone?
Well, I get really snotty. I'll go and
sound
blow my
very
nose,
good.
but I'm just a bit bunged up. Huh? No, I'm all right at the moment. I'm not going to do that live on air.
How was your trip?
Romania.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was actually really good. Yeah, it was actually a really, really good trip. Unfortunately, my friend who I went with, I'm not going to say names, he had food poisoning, which kind of set in when we was basically at the airport, which put him in a really bad predicament because it was either leave Mike to go on his own or go. And he decided to go, and it was until we were sky high that he realised he'd made the bad decision and should have gone home because now he's stuck on a big tube and he can't get off. And it wasn't
Just
ideal
to confirm,
for him.
they weren't on the tube. They were on a plane.
Plane, you know, like a big tube in the air. So yeah, he was in quite a bad place, being sick and all that jazz. So the first day was a little bit of a write-off. Kind of spent it down by the pool on my own because he was just kind of recover. And then the second day we kind of mooched around a bit, had a look around, a bit of a gothic place. It was quite cool. Not too much going on. But again, we spent some time by the pool because he was kind of recovering so we could kind of go out in the evening a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he recovered slightly. We went in the evening. We used hot rods. You see the picture, didn't you? We post a picture, a little hot rod. So cool, but so dangerous. They're like no suspension. You turn it a little bit, it turns quick. So low to the ground. Felt like I was a bloody celebrity though, because we were driving around and everyone was filming you.
Really?
Yeah, you think because it was like we went through like a travel guide thing. You'd think they always see them, but clearly they don't. People were filming pictures, driving past, filming because it looks really cool if you see it.
Yeah.
And they're like really, really fast. It reminded me of like like Wacky Racers. Do you remember Wacky Racers? It was like that. And they're really quick. They were like 70, 80 miles per hour or something, I think. So that's obviously really quick when you're that low. And no suspension means every time you kind of go over a little bump, you feel it.
Yeah.
But that was really, really cool. Went to a nice restaurant overlooking like the river or the river, and saw a nice sunset with a live band, which was cool. That was kind of it. Apart from mooching around, we didn't do.
Well, you weren't there long, would you?
I was only there 48 hours. Just another city to go and visit, and yeah, made the best of a situation where obviously my mate was quite badly ill.
Yeah.
Like when I say he didn't eat nothing, he had a handful of chips and the whole time we were there.
Poor guy.
Yeah. So yeah, he's all good now though. So yeah, it was a good trip.
Nice. Glad you enjoyed.
Yeah. Yeah. Didn't find that interesting. No, it wasn't very interesting. Was it? It didn't really do much.
I've heard it about 20 times.
Yeah. I loved it. But yeah. What's new with you?
Not a lot.
Not a lot. No.
Loving Love Island at the moment.
Oh yeah.
Watched it last night. It's getting juicy.
I won't look. I mean, I'm not interested, but for the podcast, for the viewers, why don't you kind of give me a little rundown? What's going on?
Well, the girls just went to Casa Amor, which is a whole other villa where they get new boys put in there.
Oh, right, okay.
And the boys stay in the original villa and they get new girls put in there.
Oh.
So their relationships and their connections are put to the test.
Oh, so they can freshen up if they want.
So they can freshen up if they want. And then last night the girls came back and all the islanders had to decide if they want to stick or twist.
Did anyone have a little dabble?
Yeah.
Did
some
they?
people got brought in a new one. One guy, Ty, was really hurt because his girl brought in a new one, even though they said they were closed off to each other. They said they weren't open to each other and she brought in a new guy. It's the best part of the show, I can't lie.
All right, so like, right, just go back. What's his name? Ty.
Ty.
Poor Ty. Rest in peace. So Ty was with a girl.
Ty was with Ella.
How long had they been together for?
Pretty much since the start of the journey.
So yeah.
Well, no, it's been going
about
on
24
for quite
hours.
a while now. They've been together at the
Did they tell
start.
each other they love each other?
No, but they were like getting together, and then loads of girls kept coming in, and Ty kept trying to get to know all the new girls. So Ella was really like, I really like you, but I don't trust you because you're trying to get to know all these girls. And then at one point, Ty even said, I missed the game, which means he misses like going out and getting girls.
Oh, and he's just been slammed.
Yeah, and then he decided, okay, I'm going to close myself off to you, and they both agreed that. And then she went to Casa Amor. Someone came in that she knew from the outside that she'd already had a bit of a connection with. She didn't expect him to be there. She didn't expect anyone to turn her head. She's, had a connection with him. She's brought him back to the villa. Ty stood there. He didn't pick any of the other girls that were there, and he's not happy.
He's done.
But anyway, I'm sure most people probably watched it, so didn't actually need to hear that. But
yeah, that's a little rundown. I did hear on the radio. Is Dennis Wise's daughter in there?
Yeah, she's 19.
Is she?
She's a uni student. She's 19.
Young, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's a bit silly that they've put someone that young in.
Oh, let's have a little debate on this.
She got kept in. One of the boys picked her.
How old was he?
I don't know how old Sammy is. Probably like early 20s.
What's the oldest guy in there?
I don't actually know. I don't really know. I don't know.
Any my age, or is that a bit too?
No, you're old.
So I couldn't go on there? I'd be too old.
The oldest girl in there is like 27.
Oh, Jesus, they are young, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well,
I would
my
probably
old.
be classified as old in there.
Yeah, but you're getting on a bit as well.
Cheers. Anyway, enough about Love Island.
Enough about Love Island.
Can't
I mean,
wait for
can
it
we
to
just
continue.
can we just take a moment and I'll just let you speak about Love Island for a bit?
What do you mean you let me?
I didn't let you, but like I
would've talked about it if I wanted to.
entertained it.
Well done.
Yeah, but otherwise I wouldn't have
Thank you
entertained
so
it.
much.
was
I love you
entertaining
so much more now. I
Do
think
you?
you've basically asked me to marry you by
I
doing
would
that.
say I agree.
Anyway.
There you go. On that note.
Yeah.
Yeah, wicked. Well, let's crack on with the podcast then, shall we?
What? The topic that we're going to talk about?
the topic.
Right.
Yes, that's what I said. Let's crack on.
Okay. So today we're going to talk about the importance of a warm up and a cool down and stretching and stuff with your training, because it's often stuff that quite often goes amiss.
Yeah.
Purely down sometimes to just laziness, or people maybe just not knowing what they should be doing for a warm up and a cool down, and what an effective warm up and cool down is basically.
Yeah.
So
I'm quite bad at all this. If I'm honest.
he's terrible. I mean, I'm not
No,
amazing
you're quite
at
good.
it. Yeah, but I always tell myself I need to stretch more, and I don't.
You're good at like mobility before you do like
But
squats.
I just like physically could not just go straight into a weight
But
training
I would just
session.
go straight into
Yeah, but
it.
I don't know how you
My
do that.
warm up is like a light set.
If I don't properly warm up my properly warm up my legs and like loosen my hip flexors, my squats are terrible. And if I do, I have like the best squats ever.
Yeah. No, I do actually get it. I do get it because I do get it. I'm just lazy and stupid, but I just get straight in, you know what I mean? Straight in. Before you get injured.
Why did you just flex your pec?
We can see it bouncing.
Why are you doing that?
I didn't even mean to. Why are you watching it? Do you like that, do you?
Why are you doing that?
You're pain in your
What's
head.
wrong with you
Getting
today?
excited.
Why are you so happy?
I don't know. So I'm carrying the show, I told you. Got to liven things up around here. Right, yeah, back to warming up.
Yeah,
There's
so
different phases of warming up, isn't there? Really? Like a cardio warm up or like a stretching warm
yeah,
up.
there's loads of different ways you can warm up, and it obviously depends on what you're about to do in terms of
Yeah.
what sort of a warm up you should do. But obviously just anything that's a little bit intense and that's going to get your heart rate up, basically. But basically warming up obviously gets the blood pumping around your body, which means more oxygen is going to go to your muscles, meaning your muscles are going to have more energy. And basically something occurs and the oxygen is turned into ATP, which basically is turning the food that you've eaten into energy. So this is obviously why it's super, super important to fuel yourself for your sessions or have a good nutritional plan or diet plan to obviously help with that. And it's basically just getting your body ready for the exercise that you're just about to do. Obviously, the more oxygen that's flowing around your body, the more energy your muscles are going to have. So if you just go straight into a weight training session, then you're not really fully prepared for that session.
I guess
it's not that you're not going to be able to do it, but you're probably going to benefit a lot more from doing a warm up before.
I guess some people could say, okay, so what if I just go and get my blood pumping by doing a light set?
Mm-hmm.
But then you could say if you was to jump on the Stairmaster for 5 minutes, you're going to optimize your time much better because you're going to get a lot more blood flow from 5 minutes on the Stairmaster than you are doing a warm up.
Yeah, and we're not talking about you have to spend half an hour warming up. Like, absolutely not.
5 minutes or so.
Anything between 5 to 10 minutes, I think, is perfect. And yeah, whether that's walking on the treadmill, on the Stairmaster, on the cross trainer, maybe be a little bit smart if you're going to focus on, if you're going to do an upper body day, maybe do something that specifically involves your arms, like cross trainer or rowing. I sometimes use a ski erg if I'm trying to just get my arms warmed up a little bit for an upper body day. And yeah, just get that blood pumping, kind of get in the zone, get ready for your weight training session, get your body nice and warm. Yeah.
Okay. So once we've done a 5 minute whatever warm up, let's talk about you, because obviously you do it. If you're going to do a leg session, what's your next like protocol? What would you do next?
Well, it doesn't, not just a leg session.
No, but I'm saying we're talking about leg session because it's making it more specific.
Leg session, I would definitely then go into some dynamic stretches. So dynamic stretches are, obviously you think of a stretch as literally just holding a stretch. It's not what a dynamic stretch is.
Static
Dynamic
stretch is just stretching, yeah. Sorry. I'm so sorry. No, I just cut her up. No, you said just like hold. I was trying to say that's a static stretch. But I'm sorry. Dynamic stretch, please, Emma. At least you're still smiling.
Dynamic stretches.
Yeah, I'm not getting dinner tonight.
Are
Oh, Nate didn't get coffee.
Right, guys.
You're slacking,
Emma.
Emma.
Talk about my dynamic stretch.
Actually, can we just say one more thing? It's my fault because I actually cooked the wings today and I didn't make the coffee.
Yeah, and I was trying to get our dog ready.
All right, Emma, back to you.
Dynamic stretches, if I'm allowed to talk about it. So they are stretches where you're moving through the stretch. So, for example, if I was going to warm up my hip flexors ready for squats, I would maybe do open and close the gate with my legs just to get those hip flexors moving. So you're obviously stretching out the joint, stretching out the muscle, but you're moving through it rather than just holding a stretch. So yeah, just any sort of dynamic stretch. If I'm about to do, say, an upper body day, I might get a band and do some arm circles with the band just to obviously just get that moving as well. But again, obviously you've warmed up, great, probably going to be super, super ready for your session. But obviously if you want to maximize, the movement that you have in your joints and the flexibility that you have when you're lifting, dynamic stretches are really good for that because they're obviously stretching out the muscle, but because they're moving, they're obviously getting you ready for like powerful lifts and stuff. I'm also a dance teacher. And in dance, they talk about dynamic and static stretches. Dynamic stretches get you ready for like powerful like leaps and jumps and stuff like that, obviously being flexible as well from the stretch, whereas static stretches are kind of just more for flexibility and just maybe like holding your leg up or something like that. So yeah, dynamic stretches, don't overlook them. They are great.
Yeah, I don't do them, but I probably should do something like that because it prevents injury as well, I guess, because the more tighter you are, the more prone you are to injury, especially if you're tight in your glutes, hamstrings, wherever in your legs, it's going to lead to back problems all the time. You always find, if you get clients that have struggle with like lower back pain or something like that, and they go to a physio, they always get told that you need to start like rolling out your glutes or stretching your glutes because your glutes are too tight or your hamstrings are too tight. It's all connected. One thing's tight, pulls on the rest.
Yeah.
Not ideal.
And you're going to have better lifts, have better range of motion. Get lower in your squats, everything.
More depth. We love more depth. And then if we go into actual like warming up in terms of your set, because one thing you do see a lot of people do is you go a bit too hard in the warm up.
Yeah.
As in like you would do like a set, let's talk squats. You do a set of 12 with a bar. You do a set of 12 with 20 kilos, set of 12 with 30 kilos, 40 kilos. Like, you probably shouldn't do that. I would do like 5 with the bar, 5 with 30 kilos, 5 with 50 kilos, 3 with extra, and then when you get to your working weight, you can start going to 10 at that weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I
I
mean?
think anything with a bar, I always do a warm-up set with just the bar.
Just the bar, yeah.
Whether it's bench press, RDLs, squats, whatever.
But don't
hip
go
thrust.
too crazy. Don't keep loading up. Like, don't go for a full pyramid where you're just kind of doing 10 or 12 on everything. Like, you can just do like 5 on a weight and then move up to the next weight. And then when you get to your working weight, you do your set of 8, 10, 12 or whatever it is.
And it's not only to warm yourself up as well, like a warm-up set. It's also about, you know, kind of getting that mind to muscle connection and kind of knowing, you know, what your form should be, what your technique should be, reminding yourself of that before literally chucking a ton of weight on there and trying to lift it. Yeah. I feel like it really gets me sort of like where my feet need to be, where my arms need to be, where I need to be put, sort of thing.
Yeah, you find your form, don't you? Like, especially with big lifts as well. You want to make sure form is perfect. So you want to have a couple of practice sets to make sure that your form is set, you've got no niggles, you're feeling good, and then you're good to go. It's just obviously somebody like what we're talking about now, like people probably listen to that, go, bloody hell, I'll be half an hour into my session and I've only got an hour. Like, these things don't have to take long. 5-minute warm up, 5-minute dynamic stretching, 5 minutes like of warming up on your kind of your first exercise, if that makes sense. Like every exercise doesn't need a massive warm up. Once the muscles are stimulating and they're going, then the warm up set per exercise is kind of less.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. No, it just makes sense.
Yeah. So
overall, basically, a warm up will first of all get your mind ready for the session, kind of get you in the zone. It will obviously get the blood pumping around your body, more oxygen flowing around your body, more energy to your muscles. It will get your joints loosened up and ready to move. It will get your muscles, lengthened out and stretched out before you go. And it's going to prevent injury. You know, if you find that you're, obviously everyone is going to get pain after weight training sessions because you're breaking down the muscle fibers. But if you find, it's quite severe or, you find you can't walk the next day or anything like that, it might just be that you need to look at getting a proper warm up implemented into your sessions and a cool down, obviously, which we will come to. But yeah, obviously it's not going to stop you feeling sore. It's just going to ease that a little bit more and most of all prevent some injury.
It's more prevent, isn't it? It's preventing injury. And like you said, ultimately for you, if you was to go and squat without your warm-up routine and squat with your warm-up routine, your squat with your warm-up routine is always going to win. So yeah, I mean, moral of the story, be like Emma, don't be like Mike.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say you really complain about DOMs that much.
No, maybe we don't train hard enough. We don't chase DOMs, do we?
No, we don't chase DOMs. No, but as in like, it's not like you're suffering from not warming up by the sounds of it.
No, I don't. I mean, probably because doing it for so long, but then again, when I'm older, I may start to struggle because I definitely am not very flexible. I'm not touching my toes. So maybe something I should start doing.
I really want to start yoga, so if you want to start yoga with me,
I used to do the hot yoga.
Yeah, I want to do that.
It's quite
if you're down.
Well, it was fun, but also I felt stupid because everyone's nice and flexible, and then there's me just grunting. Go,
but it's really good for
bloody hard as well.
Yeah,
it hurts. It's hard.
Yeah.
Well, obviously just touched on it slightly, but cooling down.
I think this is probably the worst one because I feel like a lot of people know to warm up, but then they get to the end of the session, they pick up their stuff and they go. I reckon this is probably the one that most people miss out on.
Yeah, I would say warming up is more important than cooling down, personally. But yeah, cooling down, like we spoke about it, cooling down is obviously massive for someone who's like an endurance athlete, because if you're taking your body and your heart rate to such a place where you're obviously endurance, it's very, very important that you kind of slow your heart rate down and slow your body down and bring it back to your pre-exercise state.
Yeah.
Whereas I guess if you're weight training, you are obviously taking your body to a place of kind of strain and that, but not as bad as like an endurance athlete. So in terms of cooling down, yeah, it's massively important, but definitely if you're a long distance runner, someone who does like triathlons or whatever, then you should have a cool down and bring your body back to its, like I said, pre-exercise state before you kind of crack on with your day. If you are going to the gym, just like average Joe, then you could say that it is worth kind of having a bit of a cool down and a little bit of a stretch to kind of prevent, again, DOMS and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there is loads of talk. Loads of people say you don't need to stretch and whatever after exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say you do. Yeah. What's your thoughts?
I think, I don't think it's like you must do it, but I think we go to the gym not only for the physical aspect, but for the mental aspect. And if you're, someone that's quite rushed for time, you're trying to get to the gym before work, you do your session, you run out the gym, you're out of breath, you're sweating, you're running to work, like you're just going to feel stressed and feel like overwhelmed. Whereas if you do your session, leave yourself time to literally just have a stretch, sounds stupid, but reflect on the session, reflect on how it made you feel, reflect on how well you did, and walk out of the gym feeling calm, feeling happy, feeling like you've achieved something. I think it's just a really good way to kind of start your day rather than pushing your body to a certain extent, rushing out the gym, rushing to work, rushing to get ready. It's just, you're going to start your day off a little bit manic, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
so I think
I agree.
it's almost a bit like yoga and like meditating and stuff. It kind of just brings your body back to the state that you was in when you started, but obviously feeling a lot better because you've just done a workout.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, there is like obviously stretching after your session can, again, like we said, help ease delayed onset muscle soreness. So there is an advantage to it.
I also find stretching just really important as well. I think generally just from my dance background, like we would never just finish a dance session and then that's it, go home. Like you would always do a cool down, always do a stretch at the end to make sure that, you come out of the session feeling good and there's no tightness, no injuries or anything like that.
Yeah, no, I do. I agree with you there. So yeah, something you should definitely do. Really,
and I mean, it doesn't have to be, so let's talk about what an actual cool down is. Again, it can kind of be like a warm up. It can be about 5 to 10 minutes. Doesn't have to be a super long time. But you basically just want to reduce the intensity of the exercise that you're doing. So say you finish a weight training session, maybe you wanted to do a bit of cardio afterwards. You're on the treadmill, you're on an uphill, fast paced walk. It's obviously just bring that incline down, bringing the speed down back to like a normal rate, letting your heart rate settle, letting your breathing settle to the point where you're just not out of breath anymore. If that makes sense, you're kind of breathing normally again. But you could do that by walking home from the gym. Like you could literally have a leisurely stroll home from the gym. It could be anything.
That is
you
a
could
cool down,
sit
isn't
on the
it?
bike. You could just cycle really nice and slowly on the bike. It doesn't have to be anything amazing. Or again, maybe doing some sort of like yoga flow or like meditation or something, and then having a nice stretch after.
Yeah, I think most of our clients, especially the ones that are in a fat loss phase, would be doing post-session cardio, wouldn't they? So like you said, obviously if you're going 100 miles an hour in that 10, 15, 20 minutes you've got, then the last 3 to 5 minutes, just bring it down to, like you said, a flat walk or a slow bit of cardio, bring your heart rate down. Do you know what I mean? And then you're good. You're back to the world of the living.
Yeah. So, and then, if you have time, make time maybe, static stretches after. So rather than dynamic, actually holding a stretch for like 30 to 45 seconds, specifically focusing on the muscles that you've used. So whether that's your legs or your arms, having a nice little stretch. That is obviously going to help prevent muscle soreness. Not going to help prevent, maybe reduce. And it's also going to obviously help with your flexibility, your joint movement, which is going to help in the next sessions that you have with your mobility and how much movement you have. Yeah.
Important topic that actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I said, something I massively clearly neglect.
Are you going to take something away from this podcast?
I think I'm going to take something away.
Are you going to start doing a warm-up?
I think I might start doing a little bit of stretching.
Yeah.
More so for the later on aspects. You know, like you have a lot of older clients that struggle with kind of lower back and stuff like that. And like we say, it's just from it's always connected to some sort of like muscle tightness or something. So I do think it's very important. And there's a few podcasts I listen to. David Goggins, he talks about stretching and the importance of it as well. I mean, he's like an endurance athlete, so he does a lot of running, a lot of ultra marathons and stuff. So he has to be on the ball of making sure that his muscles are super, super stretched. But before they weren't, and he was in quite a bad way of lots of injuries and stuff. So it is important to make sure your muscles are nice and loose, because it's just going to help you down the line, isn't it? You think if you're 60, 70, 80 years old and you've got super, super tight glutes, hamstrings, and
something falls on the floor and you've got to bend down and get
your
it.
back is going to be in absolute bits. So yeah, I think I just took something away from it.
Wow.
Anyway,
Hopefully
enough fitness talk. We've got some real talk to talk about now.
What?
Crocs.
Crocs.
Well, that weren't what you expected.
Do you know what I think I deserve? I think I deserve an apology.
A big apology. I like one as well.
Do you know? Yeah, to me and Nathan, I think you should give us a big apology.
No, look, I am sorry. I mean, do I look like a twat when I wear them? Yes. Does everyone look like a twat when they wear them?
No.
Yes.
I look cool.
But
debatable.
I mean, Justin Bieber looks cool. You don't look cool.
I look cool.
No, you
got
do.
Fluffy ones.
I think
Christmas present.
Girls look cooler than guys in Crocs.
100%.
100%.
Guys actually look like dickheads.
Yeah.
Girls look semi-cool.
Yeah, but they're just really good. They're really practical. I'm going to take you through my journey of why I wore them and what happened. So basically, if you didn't know, I didn't like them. Mugged people off, put it on social media. Do you know what I mean?
People? Me?
Mugged them off.
Literally put a video of me on
Nathan,
like, I'm not feeling this or something like that.
And yeah, and then Emma thought it'd be funny. She bought me a joke present. And they were some Crocs. I mean, they sat in the office for a bit, but then there was this one day, and they were down by the door, and I thought, I'll take the bins out. And my sliders were in the cupboard, and I had a moment. It was this moment. It was go up and get your sliders, or be lazy and put the Crocs on. So I was lazy. Oh no, it was your Crocs.
Oh.
So I put Emma's Crocs on, and they were a bit uncomfortable.
Too small.
But too small. but I don't know why. And then I decided to wear them, and I thought, well, they're quite easy to put on. And yeah, that's when it all started. So I started taking the bins out in my Crocs. And then I started taking Max on walks, and funny enough, I'm wearing my Crocs. Next thing you know, I'm putting petrol in the car, and I've got my Crocs on.
Going to golf.
Going to golf, put the Crocs on.
Going to your friend's gym.
And the next thing you know, yeah, I'm standing in the middle of fucking Tesco's, and guess what?
Got
my Crocs on.
Sometimes we go out for a walk and he's like, are you wearing your Crocs? And I'll be like,
don't even say that anymore.
Yeah, no.
Because I just put them on. So, yeah, basically, if you don't ever want to wear Crocs or you don't like them, just don't put them on. Because if you put them on, they will get hold of you. And I'm not the first person to say this. I spoke to a few people that have said, yeah, mate, when I want to put them on, or yeah, that was it.
Got you in a chokehold.
Got me in a chokehold. So yeah, the story of Crocs.
Yeah. Are you glad I brought them for you now?
Yeah, they're just practical. They are practical. They're comfy. They're comfy. They're practical.
Them on holiday?
I don't know. Probably not. I think I would prefer to wear like
bulky for the bag though. Isn't it?
Yeah, a bit of weight there.
Wear them to the airport. I am
strong.
No, strong choice, but also maybe
I would
say a bit. Yeah, you wouldn't be in the lounge. I would like to say I'm not at that stage yet.
Right. We'll see when we get to
probably not at that stage.
Yet being the key word.
I'm more of a I won't be wearing them to the airport. Although I don't know. No, I won't. We can't wear them in the lounge. But yeah, I mean, on holiday, I think I'd more Havaianas. I prefer my flip flops. Do you know what I mean? There's too much danger of a dodgy foot tan with Crocs on. You have loads of dots, wouldn't you, all over your foot? So not ideal.
You're not going to lay there with them on your feet.
But when you walk around, mate, it's still sun.
Obsessed, Michael. You are, clearly. Be laying on a sunbed with Crocs on his feet.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's ending the show on Croc Life.
Let us know if you like Crocs or not. If you're Croc gang or Croc wang.
That made no sense.
Croc gang or
put it on your Instagram
not
story.
Crocs, yeah.
And make sure everyone's following you.
I did put it on my Instagram, and Crocs did not win, but maybe I have to redo that poll.
They're taking over the world. Crocs really are. They're taking over.
Do you know what? It's
comfort.
Things that are like practical are good because they're quick and easy, and that's what they are. Like you can go down there and spend a minute or 30 seconds, whatever, putting your trainers on, or you could put your Crocs on.
Yeah.
I mean, 30 seconds a day for the next 20 years is a lot of time.
Mm.
And we don't like to waste time, do we, Emma?
We don't like to waste time at all, no.
Anyway, Emma, I think it's time you make some coffees.
On that note, thanks. On that note, everyone.
See you later.
See you later.
Till next week.
Till next week. Make sure you follow us. You know the socials. You know the drill. Couple of coaches. Over and out.
Peace.
Bosh.